Major General Hans von Eisenberg was negotiating in secret for safe passage for his team. 5 of the V2 program's top men. My job was to make sure that didn't happen.
Plenty of titles put you in the role of a soldier tasked with gunning down opposition, but it's not every day you're put in the specific role of a sniper. Sure, most games will have a long-distance rifle or two as part of their arsenal, but it's rare for them to be the main focus of it. Sniper Elite V2, a remake of the original Sniper Elite released back in 2005, does just that and gives players the opportunity to deliver severe brain trauma from hundreds of yards away. There is some satisfaction to be had here, with devastating displays of carnage rewarded for well-placed shots on a regular basis, but once the novelty of these kills wears thin, players will find very little else to be engaging about the experience.
Hitler's war machine, once unstoppable, was now on the retreat.
World War II is drawing to a close. Germany is quickly being overrun with Allied and Russian forces, and each side is scrambling to stop the scientists responsible for Germany's V2 rocket program from falling into each other's hands. As an American sniper behind enemy lines, you're tasked with eliminating these scientists before they can escape, and putting a stop to any plans involving the V2 rockets. That is the entirety of the plot. Exposition is paper-thin, delivered mostly through bland mission briefings, and you're never given any reason to care about the circumstances around you. All you need to worry about is getting from point A to point B, and taking out whatever targets the game tells you to until the credits roll, which takes around 6 hours. The most important element for a game based around the concept of being a sniper is the long-distance shooting, and Sniper Elite V2 does a respectable enough job in this regard. The act of lining up a headshot and nailing an unsuspecting enemy in the head from hundreds of yards away is enjoyable, especially when you get to witness the gory kill cam that lets you know just how much damage your bullet did. There are other variables that you can turn on or off to make getting that headshot trickier, such as forcing you to compensate for factors like gravity and/or wind, and arguably turning these factors on makes success that much more gratifying. However, after a few hours of doing this process over and over on countless soldiers, the feeling of satisfaction is replaced with the feeling of repetition. The slow-motion kill cams, which range from simply showing a bullet passing through an enemy to close-up X-ray views of bones shattering and organs tearing, are both excruciating and entertaining to watch at first, but the shock value wears off long before the end. It really is the only trick the game has, and without any other elements to lean on once that trick stops working, you'll be left uninterested just going through the motions. The other gameplay elements are underdeveloped and clunky. The game seems to occasionally encourage a stealthy approach, giving you options like distracting or silently eliminating guards to sneak through areas, and timing your shots with loud noises such as thunder to remain hidden. However, the linear level design makes this approach unpractical, aside from some moments specifically designed with stealth in mind. On top of that, being spotted doesn't cause much of a penalty. While you'll die easily if caught off guard by a spray of automatic fire, it's often a better tactic to get spotted purposely, put your back against a wall, and snipe all the alerted enemies running at you. You do have other weapons, a submachine gun and a pistol, if you need to fight close quarters, but both are unwieldy to use and are only there as a last-ditch option. You also have access to various pieces of equipment, although most of them are hardly ever utilized. You have a limitless supply of rocks to distract enemies with, which, as stated previously, is never really needed. There are various traps you can place down, such as tripwires and dynamite, to protect yourself from enemies attempting to flank, but aside from a few rare instances where you need to defend a specific point, you'll probably forget you even have them. The only items that get any real use are grenades, but even those are only necessary if you find yourself in a tight spot. Although finding yourself in a tight spot is hard to accomplish, as the intelligence of your foes isn't very high. When undetected, some will fail to react to their friend being killed mere feet away from them, and when finding a body, they'll just stand around acting confused instead of sounding an alert. When enemies do become aware of your presence, they'll either charge directly at your position or hide in one spot and pop out to take shots, both of which makes them easy targets. Outside of the campaign, there's a challenge mode and cooperative multiplayer. Challenge only has one game type, Kill Tally, which is a basic wave-based survival mode with limited map selection and offers nothing noteworthy. Going online and playing with a second player has a few more options. Aside from Kill Tally and the ability to play the campaign cooperatively, there's Bombing Run, which has you retrieving parts from various places on the map in order to repair an objective, and Overwatch, which has one player as a sniper covering the other as he tries to accomplish certain tasks. Neither of these modes offers anything interesting, simply providing the same sniping gameplay minus the slow-motion kill cams, and the addition of another player seems irrelevant most of the time. In terms of presentation, Sniper Elite V2 is rather bland. The environments quickly bleed together, with most levels taking place in cities with bombed-out buildings, aside from the occasional well-defended stronghold. There are moments where the game makes an effort to be more interesting, but for the most part the game is dull to look at. One exception to that is the gory kill cams, which do look good despite how repetitive they eventually become. Sound is equally as bland as the graphics. Music is fine, but repeats the same few tracks throughout the entire experience. Your German and Russian foes constantly spout the same handful of lines, and the narration from your character comes across as rather disinterested, although the sound of your bullet tearing through the flesh of an enemy always sounds appropriate. Sniper Elite V2 is a reasonably entertaining shooting gallery for the first few hours, with its painful displays of the damage one bullet can do, but it fails to hold your attention past that initial period. The other elements around the sniping feel underdeveloped and underutilized, and the few other modes on offer provide nothing that's not already present in the unexceptional campaign. It might constitute a weekend rental for those looking for an afternoon of mindless entertainment, but those looking for a fulfilling experience should give this one a pass.